Hello and welcome to my Shape the Collection video for the month of March. This month I have a lot of different and interesting things to show you, from books to half comics to manga, obviously in both English and Japanese, good series, bad series, good art, bad art, many various editions, and some stuff I think you probably never seen before, so I hope you enjoy this one. I'll start with the books I failed to show last time. Uh, Atlas Shrugged, The Fountainhead, and The Virtue of Selfishness. All these books are by Ayn Rand, a 20th century philosopher that invented the philosophy of objectivism. This is actually a philosophy that is never explored in manga or comics, I believe, so I think it's worth looking into, because otherwise you might never know it exists. Yeah, so if you want to get into it, I recommend watching some videos and perhaps even getting the Fountainhead, and see how this interests you. Anyway, let's continue. Also, something from I think 2 months ago, Batman and the Justice League is like a half. It's like basically American comics done by a mangaka. This was, I believe, to promote the Justice League. Movie. And this is only 100 pages, so 2 chapters, but the full thing will be collected into one book and released by DC Comics. So yeah, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. I actually got kind of interested because I know nothing of these superheroes. I never engaged with comics or watched DC character films, like no, none of the new ones or the old Batman ones or Superman. Never engaged with it, never was interested, and this did intrigue me, so I might in the future. This is a volume I got this month from the Loot Anime Crate from the previous month, I think. I'm not sure how they're working. Called Final Fantasy Type 0, released by Yen Press. I'm not sure if you can get this even. This is like a standalone volume, not the side story one. And I got it from Loot Anime, like I said. I'm never was interested in any of the Final Fantasy games. But like the strong point here again is the character designs, like in all of Final Fantasy, I believe, from what I've seen. But the story is pretty boring. Maybe you can enjoy this if you're a Final Fantasy fan, but I sure wasn't, and I'll probably sell this volume. Next, Seven Seas Volume Citrus Volume 7. I believe the anime finished, and I really like this, and I didn't watch the anime. I enjoy the manga quite a bit. As melodramatic as it is, I think it's doing a pretty good job. I think it's a good Yuri incest manga. Yeah, that's a weird thing to say. Next, also by Seven Seas, Freezing. Last time I said volumes 17 and 18 went in a direction I really did not enjoy with Freezing. And this one went back on track. Still a lot of the issues I have with the previous volumes, but again, more fighting, more abilities, more stakes, actually making stuff interesting again. So I'll keep getting it. I will not be dropping it for now, and we'll see where it goes. Next, volumes 2 and 3 of Cage of Eden, one of the first manga I've ever read. I never finished it when I used scans. And yeah, last month I showed you Volume 1. Volumes 2 and 3 are not as good as Volume 1 in my opinion, but they're still, I think it's still solid shonen. Yeah, I can see many people loving it and enjoying it. I will keep getting volumes of this. I want to see how it finishes, even though I heard it's quite a terrible ending. Yeah, kind of fun. Next, we'll move to some vertical. Oh, by the way, Cage of Eden is released by Kodansha Comics, and is the volume quality is pretty good. Next is Devil's Line, volumes 9 and 10. These volumes, I haven't read them yet. I just caught up with volume 8, and it's one of my favorite series I own. A more mature take on the Tokyo Ghoul franchise, basically. Looking more into the societal implications of having devils, which are basically ghouls, which are basically vampires or zombies. Like, all these are the same, pretty much. And yeah, very interesting, very personal look into things, and I highly recommend you check it out. If you enjoy Volume 1, you'll probably enjoy it until it finishes, because it feels the same and it's great. And next, also a vertical, the last Junji Ito work in English I got, and I think I own all of it, all of Junji Ito in English. Yeah, became one of my favorites. Really fun little story, very quick to read, and very engaging. And of course, it's Junji Ito, so it's the imagination of the author goes through the roof. Next, My Hero Academia, released by Viz Media, one of the biggest titles in this day and age. Very solid shonen series. This volume in particular, I think, ends like a big arc of the story and starts the new one with volume 12. Don't quote me on that. I'm caught up only with 11 volumes. Yeah, very good series. One of my favorites. Next, The Promised Neverland. So last time I think I showed you volume 1, and this one, volume 2, got this month, and yeah, I enjoyed it, but as a mystery, I think it does a good job, but it's not as great as I heard it was. I have many flaws, like many gripes with it, since I'm a big fan of mystery and detective stories, like ones like the Conan Doyle ones and Agatha Christie. And I think even Death Note. I think this is like an inferior Death Note story, but it's still fun. I think if you get volume 1, read it, enjoy it. You'll enjoy the rest of the series, and yeah, I'll keep getting it. Next, my all-time favorite series for now, Food Wars, volume 22. Yeah, fantastic conclusion to the fight between Soma and Ayama. As you can see on the cover, beautiful art, fantastic story. I heard a rumor that the series is going to end. I hope it does not, but if it is, what can we do? Yeah, definitely. I think everyone should check this out. This looks and reads fantastically. Assassination Classroom, Volume 20. I have not had the chance to read Volume 19 yet. So 19 and 20 and 21 being the last, which I'll get probably next month. I'll probably marathon all of it and give you my full thoughts on the series. I enjoyed it. I think it's good. No, nothing too amazing. And Kora Sensei here as the Earth looks amazing. Like, this is a fantastic cover. Yeah. Okay, next in the... Okay, this is a signature edition, Tokyo Ghoul RWBY, basically the second season of Tokyo Ghoul Volume 3. I've read only Volume 1, have not had a chance to read 2 and 3 yet, but looking forward, this is also one, like pretty much every cover Suish has digital watercolor art is absolutely stunning, and yeah, looking forward to reading this. Next, last one from the English ones is RWBY. Also a signature edition, 1 volume. This is complete basically by Shiro Miwa, who made Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage. Yeah, I think this is not a very good manga. I think the art is amazing. Yeah, well, not amazing, like in terms of design I think it's great, but as a RWBY manga I think it fails quite a lot with the paneling and how the action sequences work, which is basically the most important thing. And it basically covers all the, if you know the trailers for each of the RWBY team girls, it basically covers them, maybe adds a little more detail, and has a very cool fight, and that's not present in the show. So if you're not a RWBY fan, I don't think you'll enjoy it at all. If you are a RWBY fan, it's fun to own because Shiro Miwa has very cool art, very sketchy, which I think could have been fantastic, but I don't think it was handled as well. I believe this is also pretty much a promotional piece for the show. So yeah, I also bought the Japanese volume a while back, and if we compare like the colors and the paper quality on the Japanese one is a little bit better, but it's a little smaller, as you can see. Yeah, quite a bit smaller. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you get the Japanese, the English, they're pretty much the same. And yeah, I do not recommend this. Next, with the Japanese, let's move. Lock On. 2 volumes, complete. A series that ran in Shonen Jump about a boy that is a professional cameraman, basically. He he can only shoot girls, basically. And this girl doesn't want to be shot, and he's a gentleman. He's waiting for consent before taking pictures. And yeah, it's not, I don't think it's a good series. I can see people who enjoy it immensely, and it's pretty short, only 2 volumes, so yeah, if you want, check it out. I read it because it was in the club I am attending. Yeah, pretty bizarre series. Next, another manga we've read in the club that I would have never touched with a 10-foot pole. Sexual Hunter Riot, Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, this garbage is a manga adaptation of the light novel of the same name, Sexual Hunter Riot. This is a disgusting piece of work, one of the absolute worst things I've ever read. This should have never existed. Yeah, and the covers are also quite disturbing, since they're way early in high school. So yeah, don't touch this. Not this and not the light novel, because you don't want to add garbage to your brain. Next, let's go with more ecchi, but this one is a little bit better. Keijo with 8 exclamation marks. I enjoyed the show until a certain point, then it became kinda boring and bullshit. I believe the manga takes it a little bit more seriously and the art is better. So yeah, this is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is a series about Keijo, which is a sport where only girls can fight and they can only use their butts and their breasts. Yeah, quite a bizarre thing to read. Oh boy, what am I doing with my life? And here's another ecchi series. This is called Dokyuu Hentai HxEros, or HxEros, something like this. Hope you can see this. Yeah, so I can show you what's in here. I heard this is a very fun series, like very ecchi, very comedy heavy, and like HxEros. It's basically spelling heroes. So yeah, it could. I think this is sort of like High School DxD in a sense. Yeah, very weird stuff that many people would look at you with a weird eye for reading. Next, another ecchi series, but this one's a harem. And you know, like in every harem, or pretty much in every story in manga and anime, there is this episode called the Hot Springs or Beach episode. This manga takes place, this is called, let's see, Koibana Onsen. Onsen is a hot spring. This is a harem taking place in a hot spring. The whole story. So, yeah, I believe this is a kind of old title. Oh boy. Yeah, you can judge me later for the stuff I'm picking. Next, Volume 1, Tales of Wedding Rings. This is the Japanese volume, but I believe this is also available on Crunchyroll, unless they took it down, so you can read it there. I don't know, I just heard good things about it, and I thought I'd check it out. Next one is Volume 1 of Good Ending, a series that's finished. I think there's 16 volumes total. This is the first manga I've ever finished, like, to complete, like, read it from the first chapter to the last. It was when I was still, it was the only one I finished actually in on a scanlation app on my phone. It's a pretty fun drama. Pretty good. Also, an interesting thing, this has the volume is smaller than a Shonen Jump one, and I've never seen a Japanese volume like this, which is pretty weird. So yeah, I think you should check it out. The art is a little bit old and not very good, but the story is nice. And next, Innocent, and while I'm at it, The Climber, both by the same artist, not the same author, I believe. These two, some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen in manga. This is a historical manga of France with, how do you call it? Jeanne d'Arc. So it's pretty accurate historically from what I heard, and again, the art is absolutely stunning. Yeah, I just wanted to check it out because I heard so many good things about it. And this is the Climber, the previous work of the artist. Also, a pretty cool series. It's about climbing, like it's a sports manga about climbing, sort of. I think there are darker themes associated with it in later volumes, but yeah, again, art is absolutely stunning. Next, okay, so I got here quite a few volumes of the same manga, so let's go with the oldest volume I own at the moment, Urusei Yatsura. This is a manga. Oh, I'm sorry. Moved it. By Rumiko Takahashi, the creator of Inuyasha and Ranma Half. This volume specifically is a Wide-Ban. This is a 2-in-1 volume. This was released in 1988, so this is the oldest volume I own at the moment. Yeah, it contains 2 volumes. This is a Mega Bunko edition of Urusei Yatsura, released in 1998. Yeah, it's like this one of Love Hina, basically. It's very small with 2 volumes of content. Pretty high quality though. It's a good edition. Another one is the 2006 edition as Shinsoban, I believe. This is a pretty much a copy of the first release in 1978 of Urusei Yatsura in the regular Tankoubon releases, but this one is like from volume 2 onwards, there's extra artwork and an interview with a mangaka that took inspiration from it. So many people have engaged and took a lot, because Rumiko Takahashi, this was basically the first rom-com to get popular, and it ran for 34 volumes, which is quite long for the time. And lastly, Urusei Yatsura, the Perfect Color Edition. These don't cover, I think, chronologically the story. This was released in 2016, like pretty much a 30-year anniversary type of thing for Rumiko Takahashi. Color pages, like galore, tons of it. Very nice. Like, I love Rumiko Takahashi's art when it's in half or full color. I think there's some at the start with the other volume. Yeah, so why did I get all this? Pretty much just to compare. So here are the sizes. This contains 1.5 volumes each. This one contains 2, this 2, this is 1. I just wanted to make sure if I collect Urusei Yatsura, if I like it, that I'm getting the absolute best edition. Sadly, with the Shonen Sunday special, the Perfect Color Edition, there's only these 2 volumes, and probably never, like, they will never release more. But when it comes to these, I will probably get the Shinsobans, these ones, the 1 volume, even though this one is pretty good as well, the Mega Bunko. Yeah, like with Ranma Half, I think I showed it in my first collection video, like the first like Sustained Industry video. I showed this one, or maybe in the month next to it. Anyway, so this is also a Shinsoban, pretty much the same release as this, but actually in better quality because it's much newer. So I don't know, I probably collect this one And when it comes to the omnibus, the Ranma half one is much better. So I'd recommend, if you want to get the Rumiko Takahashi stuff. And when it comes to Urusei Yatsura, get either this or the Mega Bunko, this one, the small, or get this one for Ranma half, the new Shonen Sunday releases. It's pretty much 1.6 or so volumes in each, with extremely high quality paper, beautiful covers, and yeah. So this is all the Rumiko Takahashi for today. So basically, if I'm only missing the very first 1978 volume of Urusei Yatsura, but it's basically just a regular Shonen Sunday volume, like the cross game one I showed last month. And now, last but not least, one of my all-time favorite harems, and you've seen quite a few of them today. Love Hina, Volume 0, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So, as you can see, I got all of Love Hina 1 through 14, and also 0, which I believe is a fan book. It just came with the bundle, so like, why not? If you look at the spines, you can see that volume 13 here has something different. This is actually something I thought of getting, and I noticed it just before making this video. This is actually Ero Hina. As you can see here, it says Ero Hina version. This is a little bit, this is also more silvery than white in the volumes. And the thing about this one is it's Love Hina, but in half color. All of it. Which I think is pretty fantastic. And I will probably get it in that edition. Currently, this means I own at least one volume of each edition. So, Tankoubon, Ero Hina, which is basically a half-color edition. The Mega Bunko one, which I think is the best edition, unless you want it in color, which the Ero Hina is the only one that gives that. And of course, the absolutely awful new edition, which is also pretty big. So yeah, let's see how they compare. So in terms of size, Ero Hina is basically just the same as the regular Tankoubon volume, just in half color, and and a better spine. Yeah, this one's awful, the new edition, and the Bunko one is the best in terms of paper quality and how fun it is to read from. So yeah, that's it for my Shape the Collection video. I hope you found something interesting in the series I showed. I hope you don't think I'm a complete degenerate for my tastes. I mean, I do pick some stuff that is not harem or ecchi, but yeah, I'm a lost cause. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Leave maybe suggestions for manga I should maybe check out in the description. Feel free to ask me anything in the comments. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye.